Oops.
Hey, Wilson. You ready to get
I
started
passed
now?
them.
I'm ready to get started.
Let's go ahead and get started.
do this.
Let's do this.
Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you are not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I want to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is censored, so we try to keep the bad language to a minimum. If there is bad language, we will try to bleep that out. Brian, you look perplexed. Is everything okay over there?
I might have clicked on a previous video that was playing instead of the current live feed, and that's why I thought we had started already.
And we haven't started already.
We haven't started yet.
Are you serious? We haven't
So we
started?
are
started.
or are not live.
We
We've
are
been
not
live
live
for
yet.
40 seconds.
I think that we are live. We have to be. We're
My
live.
phone
I'm
will-
looking at it.
Okay, now I can pull it up. There we go.
I
Okay.
am looking at it. I'm trying not to sound like so much of a redneck. I'm looking at it
Good
right
luck at that.
I'm looking at it right here.
You can't try to do that. If you try to do that, it's just going to
It's
sound
terrible,
worse.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's like trying not to look at the camera. But you're
And then
looking
when I
at the
listen to
camera.
myself, I'm like, God, I'm from Byhalia, Mississippi.
We are getting confirmation from commenters that we are live.
I've got it
boy.
commented, confirmed on my computer.
Okay.
So we're definitely live.
Glad I'm not the technical resource that you were looking for.
I want to tell you about the Lift Heavy Run Long app because we have one. Did you know that we had a Lift Heavy Run Long app?
I do.
We do.
I look at it every day.
$3.99 a month. You can be on the Lift Heavy Run Long app and subscribe to the LHRL Daily, which is 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, of body weight training. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have WODs, we have barbell strength workouts, and all of that is in a community that is programmed by Valerie Hunt. She'd be your trainer, and she's always available for any questions that you might have. We also have, for $9.99 a month, you can have access to all of the training programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. Again, they're created by Valerie Hunt, and she is at your disposal, and she'll be there to answer any of your questions. The goal with Lift Heavy Run Long and the Lift Heavy Run Long app is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. So if you know someone who does not have $3.99 a month for whatever reason, and you believe that some fitness in their life would make them a better person or would make their life more fulfilling, have them email me at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com, and they're welcome to use the app free of charge.
And we get a lot of people in our Facebook group, and I love it. It's great, but I'm like, hey, they say, hey, I'm new here. Where do I start? What do I like lifting weights and I like running. What am I supposed to do? And that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like, go sign up for the app.
Right.
That's the answer to that question, which is probably the most frequently asked question I've ever seen on our Facebook group,
We
which
should
is
pin a post.
awesome. Pin posts don't work because
No, nobody knows where to find it.
because
What's a pin post?
when you look at it on your phone, you don't see a pin post. When you look at it on your web app, you see. When you look on your computer, you'll see the pin post. It'll always be at the top, but your phone is just a pin post. It's shrunk down and you can't see it, so everyone ignores it.
You can pin one post to where it's like it's supposed to be your most important post that's always available.
And it is. It is always available. It's just, at least for iPhone, it's not intuitive of like where it is. Like it, when you look at it, it says pin post, but you have to click on it and it'll drop down. But on your computer, which is what I'm always on, if I go to the group, I'll see the pinned post, which talks about
Like
that.
a bulletin board where you pin stuff up to?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, I do not do
a
electronics very
sticky,
well.
a sticky on a bulletin board.
Okay.
And if you know Valerie Hunt, most people do. They know that she's the authority and running properly, and she's got a heck of a background in coaching, and she can help you get your running form straight. She's a heck of an endurance athlete, and she's very easy to work with because she is on the ball and very passionate about what she does. We also need an app developer. Any news on that? We've not found anyone.
We have not found anyone
We
yet.
still don't have our own app that
We
can
do have
control.
we do have our own app.
Our own, where we can control it. I can say, I don't like this. Take this off, Irwin, and put this on.
I don't think that you'll ever be given that control, even if we had a developer.
I want a team of developers.
Erwin would say no.
No. All right, whatever.
Or for $30,000 a month, I bet. Trainer
I think
Eyes,
that's
Trainer
the
Eyes
problem.
would help you
Yeah.
in that area.
They've kind of alluded to that. Yeah, if you want that, we can help you with that.
$30,000 a month.
There you go.
Wait, Brian and I
Wasn't
just
me.
came up with a business idea. Let me
It
think of
wasn't
my
me this
elevator
time.
pitch real quick.
Yeah.
And
I
he
think
made
we,
it
I think
7
we can make
minutes.
this happen.
Yeah, y'all are
You
so
beat my
cute.
2
What?
minutes.
Y'all are
So
so
cute.
cute.
Who said a dirty word?
Brian did.
Okay. I'm so
It was
proud of not
it
cursing.
followed $30,000 a month.
Next to me, I have my highly attractive wife, the most beautiful woman on the world, and one of the most intelligent. She is my lady friend, my best friend, Amanda, Dr. Kimsey Horrell, also known as Jacked and Tan.
Lady friend.
My
How are
lady.
you, lady friend?
My lady friend.
I'm doing well, man friend.
What's new?
Not much.
I'm sorry, should I say it differently? Do I not do a good enough job of...
You do a good job.
It's a lot to say.
I just haven't heard lady friend before.
Yeah, y'all are pretty critical.
I'm not being critical. I was
Y'all
just
are
saying
tough
lady
bunch.
friend.
You know, Baylee wasn't here 15 seconds before he's complaining about how cold it is. And then Brian over here waits until 7 seconds before the podcast to tell me something's not right.
Well, I don't show up until 7 seconds before the podcast. So
Well, there's that.
at least he's here.
Next to my lovely wife, we have Baylee Taylor joining us. How are you, Baylee?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Thanks for coming out to see us.
Thanks for having me.
And the wonderful Karleigh Aldridge.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Who's been on the show before.
A repeat.
Ladies of OBCF.
Ladies of OBCF. She has babysat every child in DeSoto County at some point. Certainly at Olive
Very
Branch
true.
CrossFit. So most people are familiar with her. But we're going to learn more about Baylee and Karleigh and kind of what it looks like to CrossFit at a younger age and maybe entering CrossFit at the high school level. And next to Karleigh, we have the Reverend
Hello, I'm here.
Vaughn Rawls.
I'm here. Fresh out of battle. Fresh out of battle from fighting RSS feeds on the podcast and iTunes. And if you're one person that,
What's the score
is
on that one?
obsessed with, Vaughn's got 0. The Reverend is 0 on the RSS feed.
That's
But
a hornet's nest you walked into. Isn't it?
I like it. I like it. I just want to fix it. So if you're on iTunes or whatever you listen to the podcast on and like it only shows like so many episodes or you don't even see the newest episode, like that infuriates me and I want to fix it, and thankfully the people at the podcast hosting place, they're really nice. Like they're super nice. They're like, I don't know
kind
why
of their
this happened.
job.
And I'm sure that I'm screwing something up, but I just want to fix it so bad. So today,
I'm just glad we can all admit that you're the problem here.
I'm pretty much like 95% of the problem. I'm aware of this. But
Brian, you can be tough on a fellow.
I saw he's just, let's put him in the corner.
I'm already
behind
behind
the
the camera.
I had a thought. Now I just totally lost. But at any rate, there was a girl in our Facebook group who was like, I legit want to listen to every single episode that you have in iTunes. And I was like, well, I want you to listen to every single episode that we have in iTunes, but they're not there, and I can't make them go there. So I'm working with those people to make that happen, and it's kind of frustrating, but it will get fixed.
Well, and it's hard because dealing with iTunes is kind of like going to see the wizard.
You can't see the wizard. You can't
can't
no,
see
it's
the
even
wizard.
worse than going to the wizard because at least I could pull the curtain back and see the But I can't. There's not. No. You don't. Nobody. And nobody knows. Today I Googled one. I was like, how do I fix this thing on iTunes? And this company is like $15,000 a month. We'll fix it. I'm like, no, you can't. Like, somebody's going to give you $15,000 a month, and you're not going to fix their problem because nobody knows anything about how iTunes works.
Did they say they could develop an app for $15,000?
I'll send them an email and ask them.
Well, you've done a good job of keeping up on that, and I know it hadn't been easy. We switched. What did we do? Switch hosting services?
Well, here's what happened. So, on our website, we were hosting the media ourselves, and it got to be a pain in the butt because it's just not. It's more feasible to have a big place host those media files, right? That serve when you listen on iTunes or wherever you listen, where you're streaming that audio from whatever server the audio is on. And it used to be on our web server, which is not, the most expensive, high priced thing. And it's not the best thing to host your own. You can pay someone a small fee per month to host on a really nice server that will be really fast. And so we switched from ours to theirs, and it is much better. It's just there's some kinks to work out because our stuff is still low. Sorry, that's my bad.
Number 2.
I was batting 1,000 up until today. Anyway,
It's a pain.
it's a pain.
It's a pain. We either need to make the decision that we're not going to censor the thing or we need to quit.
No, don't make me that guy because I haven't cussed in like 5.
Well, y'all are batting around the
months.
horn, and every week it's more stuff that I have to deal with. So
We all did good last week. I don't
I
know
was
what your
content
attitude
being
said.
that dude.
I didn't.
she didn't. Amanda didn't make it.
I
90
can't control
seconds.
your wife. That's your job.
Control that her? You kidding me? You seen the traps on her? I'm just happy to be here.
Right?
That day's not coming.
Those traps
saying.
right
Hey,
there.
wait, Amanda, where's the bathroom at? Is it
It
that
is.
way?
Over there. And over there.
Behind the camera, we have Brian Swanson.
Hello.
How are you, Brian?
I am Ducky.
What's new in your world?
Oh, ran a half marathon last weekend. Almost died. Not really. Just felt like it.
Yeah.
Running another half marathon this weekend.
No Murph.
Gonna die
We
less.
didn't talk about y'all's Murph.
Yes, let's talk about it. Did you do Murph, Brian?
I did not do Murph.
Oh.
I was still recovering from my half marathon.
I would
that
have
almost
rather
died at.
ran the half marathon, I'll tell you that.
I want to tell y'all what I did in lieu of Murph. That was a lot of fun.
I was wondering because I never saw you.
Well, I went and worked out with the guys from F3.
Oh, on Memorial Day?
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
on Saturday.
Okay.
And they did I guess kind of a version of Hero Wads. They were respecting fallen police officers.
That's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. And I went in there with the whole kind of, well, this will be nice, and it's some body weight stuff, and I'll get a good workout. And
I'm a CrossFitter.
I'm a CrossFitter. I know how to do everything, I'm all tough. And they wore me slap out. It was 3 13-minute workouts, and it was non-stop. And I thought, man, I am in big trouble fast. Big trouble early, big trouble fast. They're very, very tolerant. It was awesome. Anybody that's looking for a place to get fit and looking for, some community, that's a really good thing. It's
Well, if you're a
free.
guy and you need that community and it's free, like
Yeah.
all you got to do is show up. So I really like that.
It's a great thing
Concept.
that they have
Yeah.
going, and it'll only get bigger. They're really organized. They have a lot of stuff going on. They have a ruck team, a ruck group. They give everybody a nickname. You get a nickname when you're there.
Right.
Can we
Can
bring
I
our
show
own
up and go
nicknames?
like I already have a nickname?
Nope.
Seriously,
you
like
gotta
this
tell
crew, we rolled nicknames already.
You gotta tell a little bit about yourself, and they give you.
What was
nickname.
yours?
Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Uncle Rico,
Uncle Rico.
which was rather fitting. From,
Wow. So they didn't let you keep the beefcake moniker. You had to step outside.
No,
of
you don't tell them what your nickname is. They tell you what your
All
nickname
right.
is. And if you tell them that you're not going to be called that, then
Then it's
They'll
just-
call you that even
That's
more,
your new
probably.
nickname.
Right.
Speaking of nicknames, we have a question. Somebody was wanting to know where the Reverend nickname came from. But of course, it's funny now because their autocorrect got them, and it says, "I want to know how Ron got his nickname, the Reverend." And Scott Hollis is having fun with that and saying
It's
that's going to
probably
stick at the
not
gym
an
for now.
autocorrect. That's a common problem for people to call me Ron. It's been that way.
Are you
for a
offended?
Anyways,
Are you
so where's the Reverend come from?
I'm not offended, no.
Where's the Reverend come from?
I don't know where it came from.
I don't know that it really has an origin.
Someone.
There's no origin story for the Reverend. I'm going to make some stuff up.
Yeah, we should get on there.
Yeah,
He's an
there
ordained
is no
minister.
origin story other than it just someone started calling me that one day, and
I started calling him that. Yeah, it's the same thing as how you doing, Dr. Swanson? How you doing, Reverend Rawls? I just sometimes have nicknames for people, and Vaughn's just kind of
The Reverend.
stuck.
The
but
first
if
time
people
I was
actually call me that.
the first time I was at CrossFit with him, he saw Mark Fortune. And he's like, "Oh, Dr. Fortune." I thought Mark Fortune was a doctor for like 2 minutes before I realized
He would like you to think he is,
he
too.
wasn't. He wasn't. He's like, "I'm not a doctor. I work at Nike." I was like, "Okay." I feel stupid.
I want a nickname.
We can handle that. Just give it time. There's 3 things I want to talk about
All right.
really quick.
Are we done talking about Murph?
Where we talk, I just went straight in. Enough about me. Let's talk about me some more. Went straight into my F3 experience.
I want to talk about the
Anyways,
fact
I didn't
that-
do Murph because they tried to kill me at F3.
Okay.
So, Vaughn, how was Murph?
Oh man, it was terrible.
Amanda, how was Murph?
It was pretty rough.
One word. Baylee says it's easy.
I want to talk about the fact that
Let's
you
talk
did
about
3
Bailey's Murph.
13-minute workouts. You probably had a break between each, right? Mm-hmm. Baylee went for 39 minutes straight and finished Murph.
Well, we should talk about that, but let's do it after Beefcake does the
Does the
review.
news?
The Chris Hope Foundation 5K and 10K. October 6th. You need to get on that, and you need to enter Team LHRL. We want you on our team. They have a virtual race, and they have, obviously, the non-virtual
Benefits the kids of St. Jude and their families.
It benefits the families who have kids in St. Jude.
Right.
Chris Hope, who is the hardest working man in the philanthropy business, raises money for the families that have children at St. Jude. And so he has this race that he puts on. If you register tomorrow, then you get put into a drawing for a pair of Dre Beats.
If you register tomorrow,
Correct.
just tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm registering
Okay.
tomorrow.
Where do we go to register for that?
It'll be on the LHRL page.
Yeah, it's on the LHRL page. I just did a post today. Go to the LHRL Facebook page, and it's on there.
I met Chris Saturday.
That's the first time you met him?
That's the first time I met him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a heck of a guy.
He's a good guy.
High energy, like strongly, passionately believes in what he does,
Definitely.
and is fun to work with because he's so excited about. I mean, you can do anything. You just put a post up, and he's like,
And you just
I'll
want to
do
know people like that. How do you function? Like he has a job. Like he goes and drives
Full-time
I think he's
UPS.
a UPS driver.
"Yep."
I think. And
Yeah.
I mean, he does that like all day or all night or something. And then when he gets off doing that, he's still just as like high level.
Yeah, he averages 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I mean, like
For
this
real.
dude. I mean, he was on the podcast telling us about how he
Yeah.
only slept either none or a couple of hours one night, and then he's a pretty impressive guy.
Yep.
Big Hill Pond, walking tall, 25K, 50K.
Yes.
Everybody
What city
signed
is
up
that
for
in?
it?
Someone asked me that, and I couldn't answer it.
What?
What city? Like, where is that race at?
Big Hill Pond, Tennessee.
Big Hill Pond is the place where
It's-
Buford Pusser was from.
Yeah.
That was my answer to the lady
Yep.
at the pool who asked me that.
There
question.
is a proper town name, but
Yeah, and there's a proper park name. I can't remember what the name of that
it's
park.
Big Hill Pond
Is it Big-
Park.
you can
Yeah,
just
Big Hill
Google
Pond
Big
Park.
Hill Pond, probably.
Just Google Big Hill Pond, walking tall, 25K.
Yeah, it's like the
50K.
Big Hill Pond
It's
State
there.
Park or something like that.
All right, Baylee, you signed up for that? Are you a runner?
I'm not.
Are you willing to be one?
I will.
Okay.
One day.
You need to sign up for this 25.
You have until October
25K.
to learn how to run 15 miles.
How long does it take you to run, to run 15 miles?
About 4 times the amount that it would take you. So
I don't know.
it would take me 4 hours.
Pocahontas, Tennessee.
Pocahontas, Tennessee.
Pocahontas. Okay.
It'd take me 4 hours to do a 25K. 3.5 hours.
I don't know.
Take you an hour and a half, 2 hours. Something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
problem.
Karleigh, you a runner?
He used to be.
Former
Okay, well,
soccer
you need
player.
to sign up for the Big Hill Pond 25K and 50K. Just sign up for the 50K, and then if
Oh.
you can't make it, you drop down to 25.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
how it works. There's going to be a lot of people
If you can
there.
run a 5K, you can run a 50K. We talk about this every week on the podcast.
Right. So the
It
deal
never gets
is
any less funny.
you sign up for the Chris Hope 5K or 10K, and then you run that, and if you can make it through that, then you're good for the Big Hill Pond 25K and 50K.
That's
Okay.
the training.
That's
run.
the
But you
training.
sign up for both of them. You don't sign up for Chris Hope's race
It's a
and then
package
see
deal.
how that goes and sign up for the Big Hill Pond. You sign up for both of them tonight at the end. of the
Tonight.
podcast.
That's right. Go right now and sign up.
We should probably just pause the podcast while they sign up.
Can somebody
Here,
can you
let's
pull up a
everyone be quiet.
I need your PayPal information.
Okay, now right.
Oh, and the third thing I want to talk about is I'm thinking about shaving my arms and my legs.
This is good.
All right,
this is
Mr.
a great
Fortune.
topic, actually.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
Mark Fortune, about that.
I have
Mark
Oh, you have?
Fortune.
Okay.
Mark
Yes.
Mark waxes, and I don't think I'm man, and I don't think I can do that.
Whew.
Amanda had her legs waxed.
Whew, had my legs, underarms, and other areas waxed.
She said it was,
Yeah.
some
It was-
for
No,
real
ma'am.
stuff.
So
I could
can
feel
I get
every
into
hair
this
come out of my body. It
for a
hurt so
second?
bad.
Not too long.
Yeah, no, you please.
So I have a son who is 11, who is about to be 12, and he is my all things social and like who I should actually be in real life. Like,
Vaughn is an introvert. His son is an extrovert trying to bring Vaughn out of
right,
his
right.
closet.
And so he has a real problem with the amount of hair that I have under my arms. And like to the point where I think it actually offends him. Like if you've ever seen an 11-year-old offended, he is embarrassed by it. Like he's like, dude, like what's wrong with you? Like you got to do something about that. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do about it?
You need to do some
You
manscaping.
can trim it.
So my comment to him was, I guess I should go and learn about manscaping. And
Just be careful what you Google.
exactly, that's why I haven't already. But yeah, man, he says you got to do something about this. Like, and then I said, what am I supposed to do? Like, be like Mark Fortune, where I don't have any hair anywhere?
body hair.
Like,
well, so
I
what
don't
are your thoughts on it? I mean, it just seems a lot less icky. Like
I think it would be-
I don't feel icky with hair.
I don't feel icky, but I don't want to offend anybody either. You know what I mean? Like,
Least of all, your 12-year-old
So-
son.
and how would I know? Nobody's going to say anything to me about it.
I
Like,
have a
I
problem
don't
with
agree
the
with that.
sheen look. Like I don't want to be fresh shaven all the time, but I was thinking if you're going to do it, it's a lot easier to take a razor and just cut
Oh,
it
no,
off.
that'll
that
make
is
it
not
thick.
easy.
It'll
That
grow back
can't
way-
be easy.
It'll grow thick.
I would never shave
I
my
thought
arms.
that was just the urban legend.
Then you have like jungle arms.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, and then
It's
it's
not.
and then it
Urban
becomes
Yeah,
legend?
it's
I don't
like
think
oh, it
that's
grows
it
back
becomes
thicker.
it becomes a
Look at my
multiple
brother's
times a
arms
week thing
sometimes.
to keep it maintained.
Well, I don't want to maintain. I want to cut it like twice a year, and I don't
Then
have.
you might
any-
as well not cut it.
Yeah.
But if you do like a waxing
Josh's-
treatment, it can
You would-
last for like a really, really long time.
Yeah. And it'll thin it out. It will thin it out. It'll grow back thicker.
I don't grow
and
much
lighter.
hair,
I'm
anyways.
thinking about a median. You know, I'm thinking about like the average of having bald arms and legs, and then I have like 3 months for them to grow out, and just hoping that people see me at like month 2. I'll make all my social plans right in the middle.
I don't think anybody's going to really notice
You don't think so?
whether you have hair on your arms or not.
There's
I
so much
don't-
muscle up underneath this hair that I've never exposed.
Do you
to
feel like the
world.
hair is hiding the muscle?
It might be.
Could be. But here's the
Okay.
here's the takeaway from this. The legitimate thing that I want to hear about is the wherever between Mark Fortune and me, there's a dude out there who goes, "Yeah, I got this. Like this is exactly what you need to do." Like, and I feel that's what you're saying.
That's-
It's like
yeah.
I don't want to go. Maybe it's Swanson, but like I don't want to go full on. I have zero hair on my body, but there is somebody.
Okay, for any
that's like-
guys out there that manscape, that don't wax, but they don't have their full-grown hair, you need to talk to Vaughn and Wilson.
Hashtag the Reverend. Hashtag Manscaped.
Man hair.
Beefcake.
Catch me later.
I'm sure there's a setting on your razor trimmer things where you
Right.
can.
There is.
Trim it down.
And you
I don't have one. I have one that I do my head with.
That's the same
I'm sure
thing.
they have a different setting.
But you go outside. First of all, you're standing naked on your back patio, hoping that Larry,
Not many
the
people
mailman,
do that.
doesn't pull up, and you're locked out. And then you start like getting sweaty, so everything starts getting matted down, and it would be a lot easier just to take a razor and shaving cream and shave it all off. I think.
But
I
you
think that's
have
what
to
I'm
do
gonna
that. I feel like you have to do that every
Okay.
day.
I don't think I'd have to do it every day. I think I just need
It's-
to every
It's gonna
3 months.
you're gonna have to do it at least twice a week,
Yes,
probably.
I agree.
I'd say more
3
than that.
months. Once every 3
There's
months.
no point in
No.
doing it. It's
It
gonna
would
it's
be a
gonna it's gonna be
3-month
fully grown back to the
I'm
level
doing it
that
after
it's
the
at.
podcast tonight before I get to bed.
But we digress.
And by next week, half of it will be back.
Well, we'll check it
Thicker,
out next week. and
thicker
we'll
and
see.
darker.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's going to be that.
All right.
I mean, all you can do is find out.
That's right.
I'm telling you. Been there, done that.
You have? You've done it?
Do it.
You shave?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I was trying to avoid this conversation.
I kind of picked up on that, and I was like, oh, yeah, maybe you are
Well,
the
he
guy.
kept
but
pointing to
maybe
himself
not.
saying, I'm your guy, but I guess I wasn't really paying attention to
I
what
wasn't either.
context you're saying I'm your
Well,
guy.
I'm glad I'm
just thought
behind
you
the
were like,
camera
I'm your
right now.
boy. Like, I'm the guy for everything. Come to me. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm still probably doing it.
Okay.
So we have with us Baylee Taylor, Karleigh
We do.
Aldridge, and we brought y'all here because y'all are both like really exceptional CrossFitters, really exceptional athletes,
Thanks.
and I'm curious to what that looks like at your age, what the appeal of CrossFit is. Because when I was in high school, they didn't have CrossFit, so you know. It seemed like when I was in high school, about the time that I was getting out, coaches were more cracking down on multi-sport athletes to where, you know, the athletics had become so intense that you really only had time to train for one sport. And I feel like that was kind of a generational thing. And now that CrossFit is here, I guess later came lacrosse, where lacrosse wasn't really very much a popular sport. And then my brother wound up going to University of Arkansas to play lacrosse. And now lacrosse is kind of taken over football. And now there's CrossFit. And I'm wondering how that's viewed in high school and, you know, how you got into CrossFit being in high school.
Not many people in high school know about CrossFit unless you have somebody at your school that does it or they know people that do it. Like, I didn't hear anything about it at school before I started doing it. And now I know all these people in school that
But how did you find out about it?
I'm always a big YouTube person, so like I'd be on YouTube like in middle school and stuff like all day looking at if it wasn't football it was baseball, or if it was people working out or stuff like that. And we worked out a lot for football, and after like my muscles started getting bigger and stuff for football and stuff like that, I got really big into bodybuilding. And then I was looking at bodybuilding videos, and I found a video of Rich Froning doing a workout and stuff like that. So after I saw him doing it, I was like fascinated how he moved the barbell and how he did like all the workouts and stuff like that. So I just
You're not
kept
the first
on.
person that's been fascinated by watching him do a workout.
How
I know,
much
right?
does CrossFit owe Rich Froning?
Seriously.
That's
for
what I'm saying.
Everything
That's what I'm
that
saying.
They
Honestly.
do. Like, I hope they better take care of that dude for the rest of his life.
You don't think
He
that
really
dude's
is.
taken care of? Have you seen his house? And
Yeah.
I have,
Yes.
but I mean,
His
I mean,
workout
also,
barn.
I mean,
His
I feel like
barn.
he had that
Yeah.
before. He's always lived on that farm, I think. But
Yep.
like,
I get what you're saying.
but yeah, I mean, you sponsor for life. Like, what do you need? Yes, we'll
Right.
give it to you.
Right.
Anyway,
How did you come across Olive Branch CrossFit specifically?
I just looked it up on Google. I was like CrossFit near me,
That's what I
and
did too. Yeah.
and luckily Olive Branch CrossFit's
It
literally
worked.
it's luckily like it's literally like 5 minutes away from my house. So it's like I've been thinking about getting a bike and just coming back and forth and training because gas has been so high. But
Dude, you live 5 minutes away.
I really
like, I
did.
can pick you up.
like we live like across the street from each other. But yeah, but it was really close. And I came up in there one day. Me and my dad came up in there one Saturday morning, and Vaughn was in there.
I was.
And shook his hand and stuff, and he gave me a waiver. We signed it and all this stuff. And a really funny thing, because he was talking to me, and it was Dustin and somebody else he was training with in there. And he was like, no, and Vaughn was like, oh, those two, they do like competition stuff. They're pretty elite CrossFitters and stuff. And on the way home, I was driving. I was like, Dad, I'm gonna be better than them guys in like 3 months. And he was like, you really think so? I was like, yeah, I really do think so. But I was just talking mess because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But I was just, but yeah. But I came the next day and I was glued after that.
But you're also involved in high school athletics.
Baseball.
Just baseball?
Just baseball. I quit football after freshman year.
And what year are you now?
I'll be a senior next year.
Be a senior next year. And you told your parents, I'll get a job to pay for CrossFit.
I did. They wouldn't let me do it. Well, in December of 16, right before baseball, I was doing a workout and I ripped both of my hands really, really bad. And my dad he freaked out on me and he said I couldn't go back during baseball season. And that ended around April and stuff, so I went back and I started doing workouts and stuff, and I talked to Lynn and stuff about the contracts and stuff like that and how much it cost, and I had no idea how much it cost. And I told my parents about how much it cost, and they were like, well, I'm not paying it. So I had to go get a job, and so when I got a job, I finally talked to Lynn. I was like, I start work next week and stuff, so we got my contract, and so I started paying it myself, working and going to the gym and stuff, and all summer.
Which was a really impressive thing for me because I don't like teenagers. Teenagers are.
You made that clear.
I do not like 99% of teenagers. I just rub me the wrong way. And dude came in the gym and literally went and said, I'm going to do whatever I need to do so that I can come here to work out. And that was super impressive. Like that means you are like in a very small percentile of kids that will not do that. Like they'll be like, oh, okay, I'm out of here.
A lot of people
You're not
thought
gonna
I was
let me
crazy.
Come here for free or whatever. Like, like that's the typical teenager mindset is like, what you owe me something. And no, he was like, I'm gonna go make this happen. What do I need to do to make this happen? I'm gonna do it. And that was like super impressive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they think I'm crazy for doing CrossFit and doing all this stuff like that. So
I was going to ask, what does your coach think about it?
my coach, I wouldn't say like they just hate it, but they understand. Like they don't really understand why I do it and all the stuff that I do like fully. They know that CrossFit is crazy. They know that's something they would never do, and they know how much I train. But it's not something that they really. They joke around it sometimes, like they make fun of me about it. Sometimes everybody does, but I don't really care about it. And but they do it in like a playful manner. They don't really understand it the way I do. So
well, that's cool. I mean, I think that them being accepting on any level is really cool. Because I mean, if I coached a ball sport, I wouldn't want my person doing CrossFit if I didn't know anything about CrossFit. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, because the potential of getting hurt.
Right.
And,
I mean,
all
if you're
that
if you're a baseball coach, you don't want your guy playing football. You know, if you're a football coach, you don't want your guy playing baseball. And you certainly aren't going to want him doing CrossFit if you're not familiar with the sport. So I think that a coach being open-minded enough to give you some crap every now and again, which they're going to find a reason to give you crap about something.
Yeah.
It might as well be CrossFit.
Yeah.
But still allow you to do it. I think that's pretty cool.
yeah.
And what about the other kids at school? Do they think that it's a cool thing, or do they think it's a weird thing?
Everybody calls me crazy for what I do and stuff. Everybody hears about what I do because I posted on social media and stuff like that about my Murph. So many people were like, you're insane for doing that. And because I got so many text messages Sunday, I was like, are you doing Murph tomorrow? Doing Murph tomorrow? I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. You want to come do it to the gym and stuff? Because I invite a lot of people. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. You can have that by yourself. But there's a few people that hang around me know about CrossFit because I talk about it so much, but it's not really, nobody really knows about it.
I don't think that it would be possible for anybody to really understand how good you are at CrossFit. It's somebody that doesn't do CrossFit that is, you know, if a bodybuilder tells me how much they squat, how much they bench, and how much they deadlift, I can't really get my head around that because I'm so far removed from those kind of weights. You know, they lift so much heavier than I do that, you know, a 600-pound back squat is equally as impressive as a 900-pound back squat because I can't get my head around a 500-pound back squat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would think that in high school, you know, if you tell somebody your numbers and how good you are, well, they'll just see it as trajectory that you're on and how good you are at this sport.
Yeah, I mean, from like putting it in kind of running perspective, somebody that's walked a 5K and it took them 50 minutes, and you're like, oh, I can run a 5K in 30 minutes, or somebody that says I can run a 5K in 20 minutes, and somebody else says I can run a 5K in 15 minutes. Those are all like inconceivable for them. And so somebody we're talking about the fact that Baylee did Murph sub 40 with the weight vest on. Like, people were like, oh, is that good? And it's like, that's crushing it.
Crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy good.
let's put it into perspective here. It took me twice as long almost as him. Same workout, vest and everything. And another athlete in our gym, Dustin, one of our coaches at one time, there is something to be said for, like, none of your peers know what they're like, oh, this CrossFit thing is crazy, but there's like these two guys who are pretty fit in their 40s, and like, we just never going to there's no way we're ever going to catch up with this guy. It's just, you just have to put that out of your mind at 40 years old, because it's just not going to happen. Like, there's no way I'm doing a 35-minute Murph. A 65 minutes, I'm good with that.
I mean, I think at the games a couple years ago, when they could partition it however they wanted to, it was still taking them like 30 to 35 minutes.
I looked that up, actually. I mean, I don't really.
You looked at those chumps time?
I didn't really. I did, because everybody was like kind of blowing my head up. But I looked at it, and Matt Fraser in 2015 did a 39:20 Murph.
Exactly. So you were like 10 seconds slower than him, 15 seconds slower.
19.
At 18 years old. So.
And how much do you weigh?
Like 131, 130.
131.
So
around 130.
There was a workout in the open where it was a all beefcake type workout, and it got to you on the deadlifts, and I was trying to actually did the math, and I don't remember what it came out to, but essentially
it's over two times body weight.
His deadlift to body weight ratio would have put me at his 315 pounds would have put me at deadlifting like 740.
Wow.
And he's cranking that out rep after rep. And it was just that was
a 1 rep max that day.
Yeah, that was.
And because I was
he
there.
set a PR.
Yeah, I did.
He pulled the one, and then he went back for more.
Yeah.
I was so scared going into that workout, because I had never pulled 315 before, and I was always like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" I was like, "I'm just gonna do the workout, and when I get there, I'm gonna try it." So, but the first time I did it, the first time I pulled it, I was really like pumped about it, and so I was like, I was done. So I threw the belt off, and I was like, I'm done. I'm cool now. I pulled it one time. I'm great. I feel good. And I walked around for like 2 minutes, and I still had like 3 or 4 minutes left on the clock. And Lynn was like, just try it again. Just try it again. So I strapped the belt back up, and
I think you repped out like 2 or 3.
I did three touch and goes at 315.
So long-term goals, are you looking at trying to go to the games at some point?
That's I think about it a lot. It's a big goal that I have. So I'm not trying to like set it too high, but I'm thinking around 2026, 27.
Did you do the Open?
I did.
Where'd you finish in your age group for the Open?
I'm in the big age group,
because you're 18 now,
18.
you're already in the.
So I was,
okay.
and I finished like top 40,000.
Okay.
And like
top 40,000. That's still
big
impressive
one.
in the world of.
In the world.
300,000 people that competed. You were in the top 40,000.
240,000 in my division, I think.
That's impressive.
How hard is it to stay motivated when your peers don't care anything about your sport?
Not hard at all. Not hard at all.
You're on it.
I just love
You're
it.
on point
It's
time.
the hard part is what kills me the most is that it's hard to stay motivated in baseball.
Yeah.
Even though as much as I played baseball ever since I could walk, right? And I've done it in my whole life and stuff like that. And my dad told me that before I started that he thought that CrossFit was gonna kind of drive me away from baseball and stuff like that. And I told him it wouldn't, but it really has. But I still do it and I still try and stuff like that. But that's the part that's really hard, is that it's really hard to be motivated in baseball when I love CrossFit so much.
I've seen runners do that a lot. Like I used to early on, like get real excited about, like, I'm going to bring some runners in here. And every single time almost they're like come in and they're like, I don't care about running anymore.
Right.
Do this. Like, okay.
It's so much fun.
Well, I was
So much fun.
I was trying to get I was talking to Sean Hillsden about getting up there for a Saturday workout, and he said he's got all this triathlon stuff going on, and maybe after that he would try to ease his way into CrossFit. And I said, you do what you think you're going to do, but there's not going to be an easing into
Right,
CrossFit. It's kind
right.
of like easing into a crack habit. You know,
Especially
you're
not
gonna
for an endurance
into it,
athlete.
or you're not.
Yeah.
You know, either you're not going to like it, or you are, and that's what you're going to do.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you're an ultra runner, then you're already an addict on some level or
Yeah.
another, and
Right.
CrossFit is just another endurance addiction. I mean,
And neither one of them are better or worse to be addicted to, but I think that it's awesome to have the option to.
right. No, yeah, exactly.
Jump on
I'm
either
just, yeah,
one
I'm
of
just
them.
kind of agreeing with you that like if you get your first taste, you're just gonna want.
You've
your
already
next
got
fix.
that mental whatever that thing
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
That's
If
gonna
you're an
make
ultra
you-
runner, yes, you're
Oh,
already
Sean
there.
definitely, yeah.
or really out.
But also, you're exposed to like something that not a whole lot of people have been exposed to. Like you're also all of a sudden you walk into this place where there's like weightlifting platforms, and you can do Olympic weightlifting, and you can squat heavy, and you can do all these things where you're like, oh, I feel like an animal. You know, like this is great, which is pretty
GHD
awesome,
machines.
You know,
I think that the power of the barbell and the liberation that comes with it is often overlooked. It's something that you can't intellectualize and say, I've never tried that before, but I really would love the feeling that comes with lifting a barbell. Until you lift a barbell and you have that feeling that comes with it, and you go home, and on the way home, you're already thinking about how you cannot wait for the door to open so you can get back to that barbell and do what you do. with
like Henry Rollins says, the iron never lies.
it. Henry Rollins. Wow. Karleigh,
Yes, sir.
you were a soccer player in high school.
I was.
And you're graduated high school now?
I'll be a sophomore in college in the fall.
When did you get into CrossFit as it relative to high school? Were you out of high school when you got in?
My 1 year will be June 6th.
And how do your peers look at CrossFit?
The majority of my friends aren't even athletic, so it's mind blowing to them. They're like, so that's fun. You enjoy
Yeah.
sweating and doing all that. So it's funny, but they're very I'm kind of the mom of my friends anyway, so they're like, yeah, she's gonna get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go do her workout, and we'll see her later, but she's gonna go do that. They're pretty cool about it.
Do you feel like any of them are watching you from a distance and getting closer to coming into CrossFit?
Oh,
Or-
my friend Dana loves it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She for sure. She's come with me a couple of times. She loves it for sure because she was always an athlete, and so she's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, she likes it a lot for sure.
Was there a gap in between your soccer and CrossFit?
Yes. So soccer season ends in February in Mississippi, the beginning of February, and so I started just going to ATC for a while, and a group of friends of mine that went there with me were talking about CrossFit, and they were like, go watch this documentary. Da, 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 da. I think you'd really like it. So I watched the 2015 games on Netflix, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to try that. And so I walked into the 8:30 class one day and just asked if I could do it, and Dustin was like, yeah, come on. And I've been there ever since.
And what kind of goals do you have? Is it something
Big
you can
ones.
see yourself?
Big ones.
Are they big?
Well, I am trying to get my coaching license at the end of June. And I mean, yeah, if life would allow it with a schedule and finances, I would love to train competitively for sure.
That would be your passion. That would be what you wanted to do.
For sure.
You know, people say, I see this, especially with y'all two, because y'all are so good and it's so easy to. I've heard people say, well, if I was 18 years old, I would.
People say that all the time.
And I'm thinking,
That's
you
not
were
true.
18 years old. I was
You're
18
right,
years old, and I wasn't doing any of that stuff. So to say that just because CrossFit wasn't around when you were 18, that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't have been the worthless turd that you were, you just can't. What y'all have is
yeah.
not typical 18-year-old stuff going on.
But I think it's fair to say if CrossFit wasn't around, you may not be in the right place
True.
right now.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Because you have, the gym that y'all go to, I know, you have this amazing facility. I don't know anybody that had that when I was in high school. We had some dumpy weights in the weight room or whatever. You know what I mean? So just having that access to that is huge. And then CrossFit itself, which is going to make you just an even better athlete.
I'll tell you the one thing that I think that they really have going for them as a coach at the gym that they both go to is, and I'm guessing it's because they were high school athletes and probably athletic for a long time, it's how coachable you both are. We get so many people that come in, 20, 30, 40-year-olds that used to be an athlete, but they've taken a lot of time off and that kind of stuff.
Well, those people know better than you do.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's the challenge is.
I think I've kind of taken them under my wing. They've learned from watching me.
Yeah,
that's exactly
I just absorb like a sponge the coach's information and willing to do whatever they tell me to do. And what happens is you wind up being like Baylee and Karleigh.
That's right.
And I love how coachable they are. I love they're both just anxious to learn the next thing and to get that much better, to find that little tweak that they need to be doing to take it to the next level. And it's just been kind of awesome to watch both you guys kind of progress through this and get better and better. So as a coach, I enjoy having you guys in class.
I think it's hard to explain the kind of motivation that people like us derive from watching people like y'all. It is fun. It's fun to watch somebody with the kind of potential that y'all have, because we dream the same way that you dream. Only
we don't
dream
have that
of living vicariously through you.
Oh, yeah.
Like nothing would please any of us more than to watch you be our mascots. Those are our people. Those are our, that's
right.
Baylee and Karleigh.
Yeah.
Like we want them to go. We want y'all to go to the moon.
You guys qualify for regionals. I just can't even imagine how many people are going to show up and be like cheering you guys on.
I've already told him if he ever goes, I'm putting his face on a shirt and
seriously,
I'm gonna wear it the entire week.
That would be awesome. But like Baylee just coming up to me and he goes, we were like running a mile. He's like, I'm chasing your mile time. I'm just happy that dude is chasing my mile time. Like, heck yeah.
Vaughn's like, I am still good at one thing.
I can run as hard as I can for a mile and like maybe tie the guy. And he's like out there, I'm just good at that.
But how flattering that your mile time is even significant enough to chase.
Right, exactly.
Like he's not coming up to me saying, I'm chasing your mile time.
That's it, man.
He's got like it was last summer that I did that.
Like a 6:04.
He ran a 6:04 mile, right? And I was never like a big person, like a mile. I was just a runner because we ran in baseball for like punishment and stuff like that. So I always ran. Yeah, so we ran. But then in the summer at our gym, we run a lot. For anybody that wants to come to our gym, if you want to come to our gym, we run a lot in the summer. Just saying. And it was like the workout started out with the mile time, and I looked on Sugar Watt, and his was a 6:04 mile, and I was like, I'm chasing it. I gotta get it. And I ran a 6:13 mile that day. And I kept telling her, I was like, man, I knew if I would have ran with him, there's no way I would have let him beat me. I knew I would have got like a 6-minute mile, but that's one of my goals, is a sub 6 minute
you
mile.
just let the old man pace you through the first 3/4 of the mile, and then you smoke him after that.
Drop him like a bad
Exactly.
How important is the encouragement from the members of the gym?
Oh, I mean, like, it's really everything, to be honest, because everybody in the gym, when I say that I love every single person in our gym, like, it's no lie. Like, every single person in our gym, like, I could sit there and I could talk to all day long. I love every single person in our gym, and I think that's the reason. One of the big reasons is why I love to come every day, is because it doesn't matter who's in the class or who's coaching or who I see. It's like, I love that person, and I know he's like, he or she's gonna be the nicest person that you're gonna meet all day or something like that. So, I mean, the community in our gym is like outstanding. That's what I love the most is about our gym.
And I feel like everyone, to an extent, I know this when you were in baseball, like, they hold us accountable. Like, if we've missed for a couple of days, someone, if it's not us texting each other, someone is texting us like, where you at? Why weren't you here this morning? Like, everyone holds us accountable, as well as, like you said, we can motivate y'all sometimes. So it's just the best family in the whole world.
I'm glad to hear you say that, and I'm glad to hear you say it in a way that you feel like that the people of the gym are your friends and your equals, as opposed to a bunch of old people.
No, not at all.
Miss Stacy the other day, because last week I lost my shaker bottle, right? And Miss Stacy, she came up because somebody had brought me 2 shaker bottles in my locker, Dawn had dropped off 2 sacred balls in my locker, and I didn't even know she was doing that, right? And that exact same day I went home and my mom had bought me one, so I have 3. Then the next day Bridget bought me 2. So now I go from having 0 to 5 shaker bottles. And Stacy was in the class that day, and I was like, now I have 5 shaker bottles. She was like, Baylee, you might not know it, but you've got like 10 or 15 moms in this gym that do anything for
absolutely.
you.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Well, and it's funny. I think everybody calls Karleigh baby girl. Like,
I know. I literally
she's
told
kinda
my
like
mom
the
that
daughter.
the other day because when I tell a story and I say what someone says to me, I always say baby girl, and she's like, "Do they really call you that?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"They actually call me
They
that."
actually,
Like, yes.
on Facebook posts out
Yes.
loud everywhere. That's her name. Is
But
baby
I'm here
girl,
for it.
you know?
110%. I love it.
That is something that I'm super proud of. And not because I had a whole lot to do with it, just because I had a small part to do with it. Because that's the environment that I was in when I first started working out. And that's the environment
People
that I
calling you
always
baby girl?
wanted.
People calling you baby girl. Just playing. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. They said, baby girl, come in here and get this out. And I did, and I was so happy. But everyone being so supportive, I think that's the thing that CrossFit is about. That's the thing that it started. When it started, that's what it was about. Everyone being a community and supporting each other. And that's what I always wanted for this gym. And I'm so happy to see that that's where it is, because you don't see that a lot. Because now you can walk in multiple gyms and be like, nobody will say a word to you.
Absolutely.
Like, you will walk into a gym, and you can even walk into a CrossFit gym and they'll be mean to you. Like, they'll be just flat out rude to you. Like, but you walk into our gym and people want to hug you. I can't stand it. Like, you will have like 5 people like come over and be like, "Oh, it's so good to see you." I love it. You know, it's like a stranger can walk in there and have the best experience
Absolutely.
of their life.
Yeah,
in a gym.
if they're an introvert and they just come in and they want to do their thing before the class even starts, half a dozen people have introduced themselves and
That's
figure out
right.
what that person's name. And during the workout, they're calling out that person's name. They're encouraging them. They're doing all that stuff.
But that
so.
secretly makes us introverts feel good.
It makes everybody feel good. There's not a person in the world that doesn't want to be included.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's not a 5 a.m. thing or 6 a.m. thing.
Right.
It's not a 4 p.m. thing. It's a culture that's been established where the standard operating procedure is to obnoxiously introduce
But
yourself.
the crazy thing about it is nobody really did it. Like, nobody really made that happen. It just happened.
Yeah.
Like,
we're
it's
just
like
a lot of good
real
old
people
Southerners.
being
It's a culture. It's
like-
just somebody saw somebody doing it who saw somebody doing it.
Right.
And somewhere along the line it became what you do. And for someone to go through a workout and not be introduced to everybody in the gym is just not a thing that's going to happen.
right.
Because it's not an accident. It's not my friend Timmy's going to be up there. I hope that John and Lola Beth are there to be nice to her. It's my friend Timmy's coming up there, and they're going to get to know everybody.
Right.
And then they're going to be at the gym all the time because that's what everybody that comes to the gym does. I mean, the success rate, the turnover rate, is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Like the rate of people who come to the gym and go away and don't come back has to be in the single digits. Hardly anybody does that. Mm-hmm. If you see somebody at the gym, then you're going to see them more often.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting that even if our people are injured, they come and sit and watch a few classes and talk.
Yes.
They're around.
Absolutely.
They don't go away. They don't sit at home and
Well,
sulk.
I mean, these become your friends. I mean,
They'll
it
sit
really
there.
does become an extended family, and you miss them even when you can't do the workouts. And I mean, it's like, I showed up for Murph. I mean, nobody needed my coaching or anything like that, but I still came up there and hung out while everybody else suffered through it.
And yelled at me.
Hey,
I
let's all
yelled
go
at you,
up
too.
there and yell at Baylee.
A lot of people yelled at me.
Well, to
You're
be fair,
crushing
I
it,
was
dude.
doing push-ups, and he laid on top of me when he was done
Dude.
the workout. Like,
Well, that's because he was done already, and you were in his way
I
with
still
the
had
fan.
30 more
I
minutes
was
to
like in an extreme amount of pain. Okay, and I was laying on the ground, and you were doing squats in front of a fan, and I needed to be in front of a fan. So I crawled in front of that fan.
It was pretty funny.
That
You're
hurt.
talking about getting a job to pay for CrossFit and how that example sets the bar for other young men, for people your age. It sets the bar for parents to expect that of their own kids. It's really a ripple effect that you don't even know what you're doing. Karleigh, your father just passed away, which was a terrible and sad thing. But to see the community of people and how they responded to that at the gym, which was Karleigh's father passed away, so we do something. And everybody was like, let me do something. I don't know what that dollar amount is. I don't know what that thing is, but I want to make sure that I'm part of that something. And I think that's with our gym, we have that, and it doesn't have an identity or a face to it. Like, it doesn't matter that it's Luke's father, it's Luke's dog that's lost. It doesn't matter that it's Susie's, brother that's going to war. Whatever it is.
It's almost to an obnoxious level.
It is.
Like if I could say, like, my dog is missing, and like all of a sudden,
There'll
like,
be 60
everybody
people
in the
with
whole city
flashlights
knows
and
about it.
It really-
camping bags out looking for them.
But that's awesome.
I mean, and I've told Amanda this, like, I feel like if I ever had to play that card, that even like I'm going out of I'm having problems with business, and I need all of you to let me fertilize your yard. That I could have
Everybody would
100
do
customers
that. Right.
instantaneously. Fortunately, that's not the situation. But I was thinking in terms of like Baylee. If Baylee was ever like, I lost my job and I can't pay my CrossFit membership, then there would be a membership paid. I mean,
somehow that would
they'd figure it
happen.
out.
it's great to have that.
Yeah.
And there's not many situations where it's even conducive to that environment.
Right.
There's just not outside of church and like I was talking about the importance of the F3. I think it's important to find something like that. I'm not saying
Find
it's
your
got to
people.
be Olive Branch CrossFit. I'm not saying it's got to be one particular thing, but whether it's quilting or the choir or whatever it is, it's so important to have that group that will, chip in and pay your way if you need it.
Exactly. And
And-
this group is always ready, willing, and able to step up.
And I hope that y'all see that from the other side. That what y'all are doing is equally as powerful and important to us, just from a different angle. And it's fun watching y'all, and it's fun watching y'all succeed. And I think there's going to be a lot of success in y'all's future.
I hope so.
So where does it go from here?
Keep training
Keep training.
Sure.
every day.
Do you have any short-term goals? Is there
I
anything you
want
have your sights set on?
sub 6 minute mile. I want three plate back squat. I just want to feel like put 315 on, and I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And just gaining weight. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I want to gain weight.
It's good. You got to get strong, man.
Got to gain weight.
Man, I would love to be as fit as Baylee, and somebody say, now all you got to do is put on some weight.
That's the hardest part, though. That's the hardest thing is the eating.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing because I can get up in the morning and go train with Gus and stuff, and all I have is a bottle of water and a banana, and I'm good until like dinner time, to be honest, if I train.
Uh-huh.
But if I want to gain weight, I'm going to have to eat before I train, and then after I'm going to have to have a protein shakes, and then I have to eat, and then I'm going to have to go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then I'm going to eat, and then it's like it's hard. It's the hardest thing is getting weight.
Yeah, it's usually one way or the other. Mine's the other.
That's why I've never been as lean as I was like 7, 8 years ago. When I lost a bunch of weight, and I told Doug Larson I want to put on some weight. He's like, okay, eat whatever you want, do this, and I was like, I can do this. I'm gaining mass is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The eating whatever I want is not the problem here.
Right, exactly.
It's the working out and training that goes with it.
I can consume calories.
That's one of the
All
funniest things my friends don't understand because all I've done since I've come to Olive Branch CrossFit is gain weight. But I mean, I'm lifting
Yeah.
so much heavier than I ever have. And so I'll get on the scale and be like, oh, I gained 3 pounds. My friends are like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like,
CrossFit.
heavy weight? That's what I'm doing.
Gains. You're
Well,
like,
that's
gains.
you're gaining good weight. You're not getting fat.
in baseball and stuff, everybody always talks about Karleigh, about how how much muscle she has and stuff. I was like, because I always kid, I was like, heck yeah, she's ripped because she works out with me. That's why she's so good.
No, I was telling Lynn this morning, I was with a group of people the other day, and there's a bunch of people my age, and I was talking about lifting. I don't even know what weight I was talking about. And this guy said, well, you don't need to let your arms get any bigger.
What kind of people say
But
that?
like, I
hear
looked
that,
at him.
and I need to
No, I
identify.
looked at him with
I need
disgust,
to know what
and
one
I was
of them
like,
looks like.
who are you talking to?
His arms are about as big as this. Right here.
But like, I don't think they
Come on over
like,
here. Let me push press you. Real
People
quick.
our age go to the
He
gym
would be
for
getting
physique.
tired from the headset that you're wearing.
Right. Man, this thing's heavy.
But people our age go to the gym for physique, and that's not what our goals are. So it's like, I'm not paying attention to the diameter of my arm at the moment. I don't care.
I hope you don't. I hope you can.
I don't care.
Don't
at all.
ever fall into that
No.
trap. Like,
Yeah.
always fall into the performance trap.
Oh, for sure.
You know, like, always make sure your squat is more important than whatever
Some
your
dude's opinion.
somebody
I don't
else's
care.
opinion, or how much the weight is on the scale. You know, or like your Fran time or something like that. Whatever it may be, your mile time. Like, make sure that's more important than what so-and-so thinks of my arms, how big
For sure.
my arms are.
Always.
I remember
For
one
sure.
of our guests, Will Moore, who was my friend who was on here, who happened to win his age group at the Memphis and May Triathlon,
Oh, nice.
whatever, a couple weekends ago. And he had made the observation that there wasn't the age groups were not as strong in the younger brackets, and he attributed that to CrossFit, to more kids in the 18 to 30-year-old range would be more attractive to the competitions that CrossFit has versus 10 years ago, where the competitions would be in the.
I think that's true to a certain degree, but I just don't think they're aware that they can do both things.
Well, and I also
You know?
think, I mean, just having been a runner longer than I've been a CrossFitter, that has always been the case where it's somewhere around the 30 to 35 age groups that the numbers start picking up exponentially compared to the 18 to 30-year-old groups. And
Yeah.
I think what it is like a lot of people are high school athletes, college athletes, and then they decide they're done and they just take a break. And then all of a sudden they wake up and they're 32, 33, and they've put on 50 pounds and they're like, oh crap, I got to go run or something. And that's when they get back into working out and, find the love for it again, for running or for triathlons or whatever. And that's what I've always attributed.
But there's
to it
also a
anyways.
That makes
thing
sense.
where it's like, whenever I try to tell people, like, how do you train for the 100-miler or whatever? Well, I go to a CrossFit gym, right, and then I do X, Y, and Z. Like, oh, well, I cross-train a couple of times a week. And like, no. You don't understand. This is the thing that I do all the time. And then I run on top of that. You know, it's not like most of the mindset is, well, I could CrossFit maybe once or twice a week, and add that into my running. That mindset is still there. Like,
Yeah, they've got to do the mileage. They've got to do
right? You can't. I can't do that 5 times a week and then
Yeah,
run a couple
I can't.
times a
Yeah,
week,
I
you
can't
know?
run 6 days a
So
week
there's-
and have time to
Right.
CrossFit also. So, anywho,
Like I said, at our gym we run a lot.
You feel like that? You think
We do run a lot in the summer.
He's like,
Yes, we do in the summer.
I don't know really what
don't-
to compare it to.
I don't know. I feel like since Gus has taken over programming, he doesn't
That's
put a lot
true.
of running.
That's
on.
true.
warmer.
It's funny
It's been
because-
well, we
warmer.
took the
Last
winter
summer.
off. I mean, it's cranking back up. I
Yeah.
mean, we've had there was a
Yeah,
week
there's a
or 2
little.
weeks ago that we had like 3 running
But during the
workouts in a
winter,
row.
we just didn't run.
No, we do
just
not
don't.
run
As a gym,
because-
we generally don't.
Since y'all are relatively new, like when we first opened the gym, like people legitimately may use that excuse. I don't want to go to that gym because that's Vaughn's gym and he runs we're going to run all the time. That's all we're going to do is run. And then like I just gave the programming to Dustin. Like Dustin doesn't even run. I don't even have anything to do with this. What we're doing, I had nothing to do with. It's all him, and he is not a runner. You know, to the point where I was like, please don't put running in the workout because people are like thinking that's what we're going to
Damn
do
it,
all the
Vaughn.
time.
And I've always said you're gonna be labeled as something. You know,
Yeah.
whether you're the bunch of jerks gym or you're the powerlifting gym, you're gonna be something. You might as well be running.
That's true. And
There's worse things to
I
be
remember
labeled
having
as.
that conversation with you, and I was like, yeah, I guess you're right.
So now that I got you on here, the hour's up, so I'm going to let you go back to enjoying your life instead of sitting around talking to us. I think it's only fair to ask for a commitment from both of y'all to do the Big Hill Pond walking tall 25K or 50K.
It's not nice to bully children.
I'm not bullying anybody. I'm just asking them to commit.
I gotta. What do you get if you win?
I like where his head's at.
You could probably negotiate that. I don't know. What would you like?
Brian Williams?
What do you think you deserve for winning?
I would say a check.
A check for how much? How much is? How
I
much
really
should
don't know.
somebody pay the mighty Baylee for winning their race?
I don't know. I'm probably not
Baylee
gonna
just
win.
wanna win races?
I'm probably not gonna win, but I want to win anything I'm doing. So I mean, I'm just kidding about the check part.
That's
but
exactly the way I've always been. I don't want to do anything I can't be good at.
I mean, yeah.
Everything I do,
Yeah.
most of the things I do, I'm
It's
not
all-
good at, and I'm aware of that, and I'm good with that. Certainly running. I just want both of y'all to do the walk.
We're going to ping some sponsors about getting a fund set up that if Baylee wins overall in the race.
Okay, so if
that
I
you'll get a
lose, where's the
check.
fun gonna go?
To me.
because that's where the funds are coming from.
That's debatable. The podcast's RSS feed.
You could
That's
probably
my-
work up a pretty nice wager in the gym.
Yeah.
And find. I'd be willing to throw some money.
Oh yeah, that's what we'll
That's
do.
exactly
We'll
what
do a
it is.
GoFundMe
Baylee,
for
if
Baylee
you
winning
won,
the race.
I would just stop doing everything. I don't know.
First 25K he goes out and he crushes it like 2 hours.
I will be your servant for a week. Like whatever you need me to do. I'll
Just
for
giving
you.
up on life over here.
I'll pay a month of your gym if you win the walking tall 25K, 50K.
20. You have to
If
do
you
both.
the 25K. No,
have to do
both.
Just
No,
do the
sir.
25K.
If you won either, if you
if you
won,
won either of them, then I'll
Or the
pay
Chris
a
Hope
month.
10K. Win. Not just your age group, though, because we've already discussed
win the whole
there's not
thing.
enough people in your age group. You got to win overall.
yeah, I would
Overall.
put
You,
that
gonna
out
be
there
you
for-
podium overall.
There's
I'll
gonna
give you
be
top 3
real
spots.
runners.
But you have to
They're
register
real
tonight.
runners.
That's the caveat. You got to register tonight.
There's gonna be real runners. Like
But you're a real athlete. And you can
You're the
do
guy that's
this.
about to do a sub 6-minute mile this year. You're
I'm
already,
pretty close.
You're there.
I can't do that sub 6 minute
Karleigh?
mile for 50K.
Will
Well,
you sign up tonight?
well, actually, Mark Fortune informed me that I don't know how to run, so I need Vaughn to teach me. 'Cause
Okay, well, yeah, there's time. It's not till October, but you got to register tonight. Is my point.
I can't promise you that, Wilson.
Okay, well,
sorry.
whatever.
You tried.
Sorry.
You tried,
Anybody got
man.
anything else?
I do.
I mean,
it's
I-
really random.
See?
I
You
thought
see,
they
these
were. I thought they
teenagers,
were
they won't.
committed, but apparently,
I'm probably gonna do it now. To be honest,
apparently, Wilson, they're not as serious as we thought.
I'm probably
they
am
were
gonna
about
do it.
their-
Yeah.
I'm just
about
not gonna do it
45
tonight.
minutes ago, they were
have
they
to
were
tonight,
serious.
though.
Yeah, they were talking
They're
a big
also
game
probably
earlier.
young and
but,
broke.
That's true.
That is a real
How much does it cost to sign up?
I don't know.
Real
Brian
money
can
that
probably
we don't
float you.
have.
I think Big Hill Pond is 57 or something.
I don't know. If my mom's watching this podcast, she'd probably pay for it for me.
I think
think
your
so?
mom and dad are both
Mom?
watching this.
I think
Huh?
Mom should.
think so.
Mom, please pay for Bailey's.
Who's Isaiah?
She takes. Oh, that's my brother.
Okay, so your brother and your mom are watching.
Good.
Alright.
So
Will-
I told
will
my mom to
Isaiah
watch.
Or Bailey's mom pay for him to run the 25K?
I'm waiting for commentary.
They're gonna
She's gonna say no.
This
She's
is an
gonna.
important moment in time for me. I would really like this to happen. It's going to be a great event, and I think that Bailey and Karleigh being there would make it that much greater.
I'll
Or
come.
they-
And we're
or
gonna
they
do
can
camping
run
the night
the,
before. It's
Can
gonna
I
be a
make
big old
Coastal
time.
Sessions tent or aid station?
At least commit to being there.
I'll come. I will be there.
All right.
Okay, Brian might,
I'm a
might
morning
have somebody
person.
to work his
Aid
aid
station.
station.
My
that
LHRL
we
aid
haven't
station.
established whether we
I don't
Oh,
have
don't-
running shoes.
So your mom said maybe, but Dawn Stoneball said she'll pay for it.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. Done.
God got you.
Dawn is my girl.
Coming through.
You're not going to weasel out of my
Goodness, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all you got to do is say you're willing, and we'll figure out how to make it happen.
That's great.
That is great.
Amanda, what did you have?
Oh, this is totally random. You said we had anything else. I took my parents to the gym to see the gym the other day,
Nice.
and they aren't, they don't do gyms or anything like that. They never have. But they seem pretty impressed. I kind of talked about the powerlifting side and then, our side. And they were looking around like, God, it's so hot in here.
Why is it so dirty?
But yeah, they actually looked around for a little bit. It was
That's
pretty cool. I
awesome.
was pretty proud of it, and they seemed to be pretty impressed.
That's cool.
So
I'm getting my family closer. They're getting there. Cool. My brother will be in that gym at some point.
You
He
think
will.
so?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a great thing to watch somebody.
I think if he ever works like a normal job schedule, he has like a graveyard shift, and
Uh-huh.
young children.
I'm
So
trying to get my
If
family.
he ever gets a normal job schedule, he will be in that gym. I'll make sure it happens.
It's such a fun thing
Your big brother?
when somebody brings a
big brother?
family member in to watch them light up and get hooked on it.
Well, he loves watching me do it, and he asks me all the time about it and stuff like that.
Does he
And then-
really?
And then with my dad passing of like a massive heart attack, we had a big come to Jesus family talk about health.
Yeah.
It's
Because
important.
I'm the only one that does anything like that. And they were like, okay, you're holding all of us accountable. I was
Yeah.
like, I got you. I'm ready.
Good
Come
for
on.
you.
So,
Nice.
Another example of you doing something that probably is not as big to you as it is potentially for everybody around you. Y'all are great people.
Thanks.
I'm glad
Yeah.
to know y'all.
Yes.
Appreciate
Thank y'all.
y'all taking the time to come on here.
We do appreciate it.
Keep on doing good stuff, and you have to remember us. You know, we knew you win.
That's
So
right.
We're going to be wanting like knuckles and high fives at the games and stuff.
And
Don't act
special
like
Yeah.
backstage
Don't be
access.
turning your head.
Backstage passes, VIP
Yeah,
passes.
for sure.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 101 is in the books.
Second century starts today.